What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel, or if you're new here, welcome to the channel. And today we're going to discuss anime number 5 of the year? I think it's 5. Mashle, Magic, and Muscles. Let's go. Guys, before we get started, however, don't forget to like this video if you like the video, hit that subscribe button, and turn on the notifications so you get notified whenever I make a new video. Also, leave a comment who your favorite Mashle character is, or if you haven't watched it, if you're gonna watch it after watching this video. Let me know if I've made you decide, hey, I'm gonna watch Mashle now, because, I thought it was really good. But without further ado, let's talk about Mashle, Magic, and Muscles. Now, also, just a side note, this video is a review, so it's gonna have some spoilers. I'm not gonna say anything super blatant. However, if you have not watched it yet, I would say maybe put a pin in this and watch it and then come back. I am gonna say some spoilers. They're gonna be very small, so if you don't want to know anything about it, go watch it and come back. If you're fine with like small spoilers here and there, then you're good to go. But I am gonna talk about what I liked about the show, what I disliked about the show, give it an overall rating, and my favorite characters. So let's dive into it. Starting with season 1, which was 12 episodes. I love how many Harry Potter references there were in the first like 5 minutes. For those of you who don't know, I'm actually a pretty big Harry Potter fan. I've got a wand right here and the books. And to see so many references to Harry Potter, but not have it just be like a copycat thing, but more just feel like, you know what, this is obviously heavily inspired by Harry Potter, was really enjoyable. Like at the school, the robes are like the same colors, and there's dorms that value different skills and personality types. The school literally just looks like Hogwarts. It's literally a castle in the middle of mountains and a river. We've got a headmaster who's super strong and very kind that everyone loves. If you get it, you get it. There's a lot of Harry Potter references in this, so it's like a minefield of fun little like tidbits for Harry Potter fans. But it spins it a little bit differently, like our main character is not the chosen one. Maybe in a different way, but he doesn't feel like the chosen one. He's very much an underdog. He's very strong though. All the gym bros probably like this anime too, because he's just like, I don't know what that was. Anyway, it also is way more comedic than Harry Potter, which I'm gonna talk a little bit more about later, because I definitely had my issues with just how comedic it was, because at the end of the day, this show was like a battle shonen. We were dealing with magic fights that were very, very life or death. Like, these powers that these people have are, in real life, very, very dangerous. And making everything comedic definitely annoyed me at times, but we'll talk about that a little later. Let's talk about what I liked first. I really, really liked the entrance exam, getting there, and how Mashle he starts to face all of these challenges where it's clear you need to have magic to get through it, but he's just so freaking strong that he's just like, I can do this with my muscles. It's like the perfect underdog story of, oh, you just train something else up if you don't have this, and you can still fight on equal ground with that person. It's almost inspiring. He also developed some friendships early on that I really, really enjoyed. We had Lance, which he has the whole sister complex thing. It's more of a joke though, so I don't mind it quite as much as a lot of other animes. We have Lemon. She's super sweet. I really like her design. We have Dot, who is probably, I won't say it. I won't say anything about like ranking of characters, but I really, really like him. And then of course we have the precious Rain. He is so cute. He's just trying his best, and he just loves his friends. And we've developed like this cute little like friend group of characters, very similar to like the trio in Harry Potter. And Mash is an outcast. He really is very much an outcast, which feels again very Harry Potter, because Harry Potter was, even though he was famous, he was an outcast for most of the story. But these friends kind of like, even though a lot of them, the way they met was not great, they ended up becoming friends because of it, and I really, really enjoyed it. Another thing that I really like about it is that when we fight characters, instead of it just being like a winner and a loser, these characters tend to kind of change because Mash is just such a good kid that they like genuinely want to be a better person after meeting him. Some of the moments are a little bit cheesy the way they happen, however, it is really cute. I really like it because at the end of the day, during this season, he's mostly just fighting like fellow students, and they just kind of realize like, hey, maybe this isn't really worth it to fight like this. Maybe we should just be friends instead. And I really, really enjoyed it. The animation is also quite good with this story. The fight scenes are very interesting to watch. The music is very, very good. And overall, season 1, I gave a 7.5 out of 10. It did a good job at keeping my interest. There was just plenty of things that I'm kind of holding back on right now that I didn't love about the story. So let's talk about those now. So in season 1, some things that I kind of disliked on flip side was the fact that everyone was just like, oh, I want to be a better person because I fought Mash. I like that theme some of the time, but for it to happen every single time is a little bit annoying. Also, and this kind of goes on into season 2, there's no stakes, even though there should be stakes. Again, this is a battle shonen, like they're fighting with very real dangerous magic, and I not once feel like someone's actually going to die. Like people get like stabbed and they're just like, I'm fine. Or you think Mash is gonna like have issues and he's not even injured. He's just fine. That's fine for the first couple of seasons, so it's okay for now, but if that continues, I'm gonna start to lose interest because if there's zero stakes in a show like this isn't a sports anime. This is a battle shonen. I want to see more stakes. I want to feel like things can happen. Also, I love, love, love Lemon, but she is a really frustrating character to me. She is just the epitome of an anime girl that like doesn't really serve much of a purpose. She's just kind of there. She's obsessed with Mash. She keeps calling him her husband, and I wish that she served a bigger purpose in the story. Like, she's just kind of there. I felt like the development with Lance and Rain was so much stronger than his development with Lemon. And I could partially because Mash is just a very immature, unaware kid. But it was a little bit frustrating that the girl was just very not helpful. But season 1 was very good. It still does a good job at keeping you into the world and getting you interested in what's gonna happen. There are definitely some actual villains that get introduced, not just students. Like Cell War was a really interesting character. He does come back in season 2, so we'll talk about him a little bit more then. But we know that there's a bigger bad. We know that there's like a bigger threat, but we just don't feel like anything's happening yet. It just kind of feels like we're fighting these kind of random fights at the school. The stakes aren't super high, even though they're like using magic that can kill you, and no one dies. So like if you don't like watching shows where people die, I would say Mashle is probably for you. Now let's talk about season 2. And season 2 is pretty much the same. I really, really enjoyed it. I felt even more for this season a little bit frustrated by the lack of stakes because we fight what feels like the big bad in this season, and we still like, while we didn't win this fight, he just escaped. We didn't lose anyone. I never really felt like nervous because I was like, well, they're gonna be okay. I really felt like they should have killed off one of the characters in this season, but they did not. So, but let's talk about the good things about this season. I really liked the character with like the sound, and I really liked the test to become a visionary, and that they like were fighting against each other, but then as soon as the bad guy showed up, they became like, okay, we're fighting together, like because we're both students, so at the end of the day, while we were fighting against each other for the test, now we gotta fight together to protect these students. And I did really, really enjoy that. I enjoyed the fight between the big bad and the headmaster. I thought it was interesting. Their powers were really, really good. I just don't understand why we didn't kill off the headmaster. I thought it was gonna be like a Dumbledore moment from Half-Blood Prince where he gave up his life for the students, but he ended up being okay. So he's not much use anymore because he took on some pretty permanent injuries, but I hope that it gets a little bit darker to come. I don't really have much else to add about it. It was very short, it was good. I enjoyed it, but there was definitely things about it that I would have liked better. And so because it was like Probably my least favorite of the year so far. I'm sorry, I do love it. I just didn't love it. I don't have many other thoughts on it. I'm excited to see where it goes. I think a lot of times when I feel like I don't love something, it's just because there isn't enough about it yet. I could definitely see this story getting darker and having higher stakes later on. I just feel like right now it feels so like comedic when they're fighting these fights that are literally like they should be life or death. It feels very like, I feel like I should be on the edge of my seat wanting to see what happens next, when I'm just kind of sitting here like, all right, we're all good. So that's my biggest issue with it. Cell War was an interesting villain. I don't know if he's gonna come back. However, the fight scene with him and Mash in the second season was really, really good. I think that was my favorite moment. There was also a twist. Mash is like the son of the main villain. I didn't really see that coming, so I kind of was just like, that's random. But it was enough to be like, I gotta think about this a little bit more. So that was interesting. Other than that, like it was good. It was good. I give it a 7.5 out of 10 overall. It can definitely go up, but right now, that's kind of where it's at right now. Okay, so let's talk favorite characters. I would say at this point, I think Dot is my favorite character. It's really hard to say. I like them all very equally, and that is like because I think there could be a lot more development for all of them to come. I think that he was the one that kind of stands out the most. He's just a silly kid, and I very much enjoy him. And Mash, I like Mash. I think that he's funny. He's very, very funny. He's hilarious. He's so dumb. It's so funny. And then he's just like, I'm gonna go lift some iron, and it's like, he's maxed out on everything, so he can't even lift anything heavier because like there's no such thing. But I enjoyed that. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, that's pretty much all I've got for my review of Mashle. Like I said, give it a 7.5 out of 10. It was good. It wasn't like amazing. It wasn't like super great. I did enjoy it. I would suggest watching it for yourself, especially if you like comedy. It's a very comedic shonen. Like if you just need a break from like the super emotional shonens where every episode they're fighting and people could die and people do die and you're just like, watch Mashle. Do it. You'll probably enjoy it. But that's it for today. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment of who your favorite character is or what you think of the show. So with that, I say, Johnny.